India are about 16 hours away from playing their first match in the 2024 T20 World Cup. It happens to be against Ireland, and as is the customary press conference did take place. Rohit Sharma, the Indian captain, addressed a lot of questions from the media. It was probably one of the lengthier press conferences you've seen in a while. It lasted for about 22 minutes, and we managed to pick out the talking bits that from that particular press conference. Lots to talk about, in fact, but we'll try keeping this short and tell you all the important bits. He's spoken about Rahul Dravid's departure, something interesting that he said about Rahul Dravid's departure, which we'll tell you about. He's talked about the role of spinners, the role of the all-rounders as well. He's obviously talked about the conditions which have become really the talk of the nation as of now, as far as the unpredictability in New York is concerned. And then he also talks about how the game has changed, and he makes a comparison, an interesting one at that, as to how the game used to be back in 2007-8 and how it is played right now. Without further ado, I'm jumping into the quotes of Rohit Sharma from the press conference which just now ended, and let's first start with Rahul Dravid's departure. It was confirmed. We told you here on Sports Day about 24 hours back that Rahul Dravid's made it clear he's not applying for the job once again. Rohit Sharma, when asked that question, this is what he had to say. He said, and this is the big talking point here: I tried convincing him, which he means Rahul Dravid, to stay, but there are other things that he needs to look after as well. I personally enjoyed my time with him. I'm sure the rest of the guys will say very much the same. He also then talks about, and in fact, it's a rare side that you of Rohit Sharma that you saw in that press conference, because he got emotional while talking about Rahul Dravid, the head coach, because it's under Dravid that he made his ODI debut as well. So he has memories of Rahul Dravid from a long time back that stretches in excess of 15 years, and that's what he was recalling when he was asked that question. And my guess is when he says that he has other things to take care of, we've heard it from Dravid and from those associated with him that he wants to spend time with family now. Family wants to be he wants to do the one thing that he wants to do right now is spend time with family. We see him accompanying his kid as well when he plays cricket, and that's what he wants to do, spend more time with family, and that's perhaps what Rohit Sharma means over here as well. So that's the first talking point from Rohit Sharma's press conference. Let's move to the other one where he's talked about the role of spinners. He mentions 4 all-rounders as well. I'll come to that bit, but first let's talk about the spinners. He says that spinners will have a role to play, and a lot at that. In fact, our 2 spinners are all-rounders, Jadeja and Akshar Patel. If you want to take a good balance, if you want to make a good balance of the team, you need a lot of all-rounders. Their role will be huge. So he's talked about why all-rounders, of course, are essential to the team. He names 4 all-rounders as well. Let me list those 4 all-rounders for you. He says Shivam Dube is an all-rounder, Akshar Patel is an all-rounder, Hardik Pandya obviously is an all-rounder, and then there is Ravindra Jadeja. So he doesn't classify Kuldeep Yadav as an all-rounder. My guess is that he forgets mentioning him as one of the spinners over here. But what he does tell you is that both Akshar Patel and Ravindra Jadeja are being looked at as proper all-rounders who have that ability to bat as well. And that tells you, given how the Indian team had fielded that team that they fielded in the warm-up match, that you could see a situation wherein Akshar and Jadeja are both seen playing together. In fact, speaking of how many all-rounders can play together, that's where Rahul Dravid says that it's good to have 4 all-rounders. I'll list them again for you. The 4 the 4 all-rounders that he's talked about are Akshar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, Shivam Dube, Hardik Pandya. The fact that you had Shivam Dube bowl 3 overs, just as many as Hardik Pandya bowled in the warm-up match, tells you. And then just about 48 hours later, when Rohit Sharma says that he's being looked at as an all-rounder, it tells you that if the Indian team is looking at finding the right balance, which Rohit Sharma talks about, then these 4 players become very crucial. However, I must also tell you that he also says that he is not sure as to how many of them can play together. Can all of them play together or not? That is something he cannot say at this point. Now let's talk about high scores in the World Cup. We've not seen a lot of high scores till now, and you could argue that that it could be because the tournament's just started, but the warm-up games have happened. We've seen a couple of thrillers already, we've seen a super over already, and the indication is that perhaps you won't see a lot of high scoring matches as you did see in the IPL. When asked that question, this is what Rohit Sharma said. He said it's certainly not going to be IPL kind of scores here, so we are very mindful of that, and we just need to assess as quickly as possible, and then you bring your game into the picture. That is going to be the idea of the Indian team, and that's what Rohit Sharma talks about. There being a difference between how things were being played in the IPL and how things are in this part of the world, which is far west from where we are right now. And lastly, about the game changing and the game evolving, these are the thoughts of the Indian captain, saying that the game has evolved from 2007 to now, 140, 150 was a winning total, but again, which is like, I don't know, but what a winning score is like right now, he says he doesn't know right now, but average score has a lot more than what it is a lot more than what it used to be back in 2007. And he talks about how creative both batters and bowlers have become in recent times. But the big takeaway, if you were to ask me, from everything that we talked about, is the fact that Rahul Dravid was in conversation with Rohit Sharma, and the Indian captain did try and convince him to stay for longer, but Rahul Dravid has now made up his mind. He's not reapplied for the position. Remember, he was given a 6-month extension, a rare extension for an Indian coach to get after the World Cup loss in the final of last year's 50 over World Cup. The BCCI made that exception, but Rahul Dravid has made his mind now. However, Rohit Sharma wanted him to stay. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, and there will be a new head coach that the Indian team will soon be getting. July is when we hear that the announcement will perhaps be made. So those were the thoughts of the Indian captain. He is looking forward to the World Cup. He's looking forward to the first match as well. There's still so much to look forward to, but some answers we did get in that press conference that Rohit Sharma addressed very short while back.